Hey guys, Coach Schaefer here. I just wanted to take a look at this practice and why I called it a build up. We're starting really simply with these contact points. So there's a lot of teaching in this, obviously, head and eyes down to the puck and simple contact and presenting the gloves in the right position, angle, all of these things. So we're just simply working on these skills as we're going through the shots, so that we can slowly build up and have the application of some of these techniques once we get into a more specific game situation. So we do these quite often, obviously, and you've seen from some of my videos that it's the same thing over and over and over and over. But especially when we have a student that's either struggling in an area or wants to really improve in a spot, I'll take it and break it down into its simplest form. We take the shot, or we do the execution like over and over and over, or in this case it's the warm-up, and we build up to something, right? So if we have one skill, glove side on the ice, we hit that skill over and over and over. If it's being on the angle, we hit that skill over and over and over, and break it up into its parts so that you can hit that one part and then you add the second one. So obviously here in the second one, it is from going from the standing position. And once we get a hold of that, then we can add, some movement to it, much like the rush, like you'll see later on in this video, or that in the videos you've seen before. Or is it the one shuffle movement into a shot from the center of the ice? It adds a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of more dynamic play. But you can see throughout this practice, what we're trying to do is, again, build up to it. Now, there's a new concept, and I don't think it's that new of a concept, but it's something that's sort of relevant in my mind right now. Something that's coming strong to me in my coaching motivation, which is showing goalies the good, right? So I have an old friend who is a really good goaltender, and obviously one of his favorite coaches was a guy who, didn't really look at any of the ones where they struggled, and it's an interesting concept that comes back to me because I'm a really positive coach. And I'm wondering that if we tweak our mindset a little bit to see the good and yes, we're addressing the mistakes, yes, we're addressing the truth within our practice, but if we could see the good reps, even more than the mistakes or the errors or the places where we want to improve, perhaps there's a thing in the mind that is just like our simplicity of practice here, which is building the goalie up, building the mindset up, seeing it over and over that you're doing it well, repetition of positive reinforcement in a way, as opposed to constantly sort of going back and beating ourselves up visually, or with this visualization, or with this video clip, but seeing the good stuff that's happening, seeing the good reps that are coming through. Is our mind then more solid and confident in what we're doing than the other way, where we're constantly looking at what we're doing wrong? So that's kind of the concept, or the build up. We want to build that goalie up as well. We want to build that confidence as well. Of course, just like we're saying, we don't want to ignore truth or leave it, but a lot of times when you're live in the practice, you're dealing with it. So when I'm coming back to look at the video, I get a lot of move forward when I get to see the positive reps as well. So keep in mind that mental side of it is just a concept, and it's something that I'm willing to test and move forward on. I really believe in positive talk. I really believe in seeing and feeling the good. Of course, we're live in the practice, and I believe in following the truth of what's going on to eliminate the delays. But coming back to this, seeing this over and over and over in the good executions that we're doing, I think we can solidify sort of our good repetitions in our mind. So next time we go to practice, we won't be caught reveling in all the mistakes, but we will be confidently moving forward in it. So again, coming back to the hockey side of this practice, you can see how we went from the knees on the angles and into standing from the angles, and then again we're going into the center of the net, which is a little bit more dynamic of movement, because they obviously have more net space. And now we have to consider the position, right? Being in the center of the net, we have to consider the shuffle over into a good angle, and then adding onto it that contact that we just repped in so thoroughly, and adding one more variable to this build up, this solid foundation that we're creating with good habits and with positive reinforcement. And so this is just one of the areas. This is a more technical side of this drill, which everybody's seen over and over and over with me. It's those repetitions and hitting the spots. You know, we're moving over, shot comes on the ice. We're moving over, shot comes up to the glove. There's still a matter of engaging the feet. There's still a matter of using that shuffle to get there, or that T-push, sometimes with the younger guys, in a balanced postured position. But again, creating the small parts of each drill so that we can build up to the next component of it. And the next component of, obviously, after the technical side, would be going to more dynamic version of this, which is shooting to score, shooting it anywhere, to where we get to see that the decision is really the hardest part about the goaltending. I think anybody can rep themselves eventually into good posture, into good technique. But seeing that puck come off the stick to a certain location and then applying what we've already learned through habit or through that muscle memory at the time that the puck is coming to us, is probably the most difficult part about goaltending, right? So this is where I feel like building up to it can have a big advantage to us for goalies. Obviously, there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of tweaking and adjusting involved. But the more we stay in that positive mindset of building up towards it, I think the more success we're going to have moving forward in the future. Now, I'm just one goalie coach, and I'm just a guy who's trying to do the best he can for his students. So anything that I'm saying, right, in these videos, or any concepts that we're going through, I want to keep in mind that we're having an open mind and thought process to learning different things and trying new things. Because somebody might say to us, oh, well, we have to be a little bit stricter, and I'm not saying that's wrong. And each technique or each process that we do with every single student, what I want to try to do is keep myself open to adjusting and moving. You know, there may be a goaltender with a personality that needs all that constant correction or maintenance. And there may be a goaltender that needs a more positive, constructive version. There may be goalies that need to be pushed. And then sometimes there's goalies that you don't have to say anything to. And so the main thing is that each goaltender is themselves in their own identity, and that we recognize that through relationships so that we can make the right adjustments or use some of the right coaching style for each goalie. And I believe that's the best way to coach each person. Now, we can bring that back to a sort of solid foundation of what needs to be done, of course, but we want to creatively give the students the way to find the answers themselves. And without that relationship, without knowing the goalie and their different delays, but also their different mindsets, it's going to be tougher to find that position. So as we go through this hockey-wise in the build-up, you can see now I'm moving over to the angles from the middle, creating different versions of the same movement so that we can have all those variables taken care of. And then again, here's something that's really common, which is a simple rush play, where I want to be able to set my feet on angle in position where the game is more dynamic or flowy. In this drill specifically, what we're talking about is a 3-angle rush play shooting. So I'm switching the angle every time, lining back up on the puck from 3 different positions on the ice. I've given my shooters quite a bit of freedom here because I want them to be able to create a difficult decision for me, or create some variance or some variation of the shot type that I'm seeing. And by default, I'm going to get to see a bunch of different kinds of releases, different handed shooters. They're going to be pulling and dragging and going to different positions within a certain structure to a degree that, hey, they're on a rush play. We're trying to create some speed. We're trying to shoot from a position that's fairly realistic, and at the same time giving them freedom for creativity to create that difficult decision-making process. And where I'm finding a lot of sort of success, or I guess improvement for my goaltenders, is once they end up seeing the puck fully and seeing that release, usually a lot of the technical sort of delays end up disappearing because they see the puck, right? They're calm. They know the position that it's going to. The body ends up following the eyes. And that makes a lot of sense, and it's really simple, but if you could just think about not seeing the puck or pulling your head off of a release, of course, your body wouldn't make sense of something that you don't fully see properly. So once I get a goalie into a position that he's really seeing the puck, that's where we see some changes, right? That's where they can really anticipate but still watch and see the release, set their feet, go to the position that they're trying to do. Being the old guy that I am, you can see there's a lot of technical things that I need to do. But again, once I'm seeing the puck, I can usually find my way to executing that save. Here there's a little bit of a challenge with a one-timer situation. Again, building up to different levels of challenging shot types that are going to happen in the game, keeping it relevant, but also breaking it down and then building it up into these different levels, these different layers of development and learning. And that's what we're trying to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy the rest of these reps, and we'll see you soon.